Hello everyone, welcome to Tangled Threads. If you enjoy this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to our channel. Let's go. When I landed the role as assistant manager at O'Sullivan's Bar and Grill, a local favorite, I thought it was my golden ticket to managerial excellence. It came with perks and responsibilities, but little did I know that it would take me on a wild roller coaster ride, one which no sane man would want to board. My boss, Mr. Simmons, was a man of charisma but questionable character. He had a wolfish grin that never reached his cold, calculating blue eyes. His hair was slicked back, adding an unnerving sheen under the restaurant lights. A week into my job, he handed me the most absurd duty. When Simmons first took charge of O'Sullivan's, he was quite different. Back then, he was a charismatic leader who charmed everyone with his vivacious energy and quick-witted humor. His infectious laughter often echoed through the restaurant, and his dynamic leadership style inspired the staff. Everyone loved him for his fairness, and no one was more surprised than I when I was promoted to assistant manager. However, as the months passed, a subtle shift occurred. It was barely noticeable at first, a cold comment here, an unreasonable demand there. But slowly, the pleasant laughter was replaced by a snide snicker, and the dynamic leadership style turned authoritative. It was as if Simmons was no longer the man we had once known and admired. He became excessively focused on numbers, disregarding the fact that O'Sullivan's was more than just a business. It was a community, a family. I still remember the first time he made me fire someone. It was Martha, a waitress who had been with us since the restaurant's opening. "Charlie," he said, his drawl slow and twisted, "you need to let Martha go." I looked at him puzzled, wondering why our best waitress needed to be sacked. "Just do it," he said, that sinister grin never leaving his face. I always wondered why he would never fire them himself. It is his job, after all. Martha was just the beginning, though. After some time, I was laying off staff left and right. The air in O'Sullivan's turned thick with tension, people barely breathing, wondering who would be the next to go. Business began to suffer. The remaining staff struggled to keep up, customer service faltered, and our Yelp ratings dropped faster than a lead balloon. One evening, I was polishing off a bottle of whiskey in my dim-lit office when the district manager, a tall man with the bearing of an ex-military officer named Richard, marched in. His bushy eyebrows knitted together, and his lips were pressed into a thin line. His sharp gray eyes studied me for a moment before he finally spoke. "Charlie, if this continues, you'll be next on the chopping block." That's when I knew I had to take action. I decided to confront Simmons. I found him by the bar, enjoying a glass of the most expensive scotch, his pinky finger raised with an air of aristocracy. His eyes glinted dangerously in the dim light as he turned towards me. "I can't do it anymore, Simmons," I blurted out, "firing people for no good reason. We're losing customers, the staff's morale is down. This needs to stop." Simmons looked at me, his grin more of a smirk now. "Are you questioning my methods, Charlie?" "Yes, I am," I declared, my voice steadier than I thought it would be. Something flickered in his icy blue eyes. It was a look that said he didn't expect me to stand up to him, but I had. And I felt like a hero in that moment. I had one more card to play. I had secretly shared the predicament with Richard, who was in for a bit of mischief himself. He wanted Simmons to pay for his heartless deeds. Together we concocted a plan that would not only expose Simmons, but also serve him a much-deserved slice of humble pie. We planned an employee appreciation night at O'Sullivan's. Simmons loved any chance to play the magnanimous host, and we counted on this to lure him into our trap. We sent out a memo which read, "The Employee of the Year will be honored by a ceremony led by Simmons himself." The evening was a perfect summer's night, the air humming with the sweet scent of freedom and the promise of revenge. O'Sullivan's was illuminated with sparkling fairy lights, bathing the whole restaurant in an enchanting glow. The tables were adorned with deep red roses and golden votive candles flickering in the gentle breeze. The atmosphere was electric. There was an undercurrent of excitement, almost tangible in the laughter and clinking glasses. All the staff showed up dressed in their finest, a stark contrast to their usual uniforms. Waitresses, instead of drab aprons, wore flowing dresses of rich blues and reds. The chefs, free from their stifling whites, were dapper in blazers and polished shoes. Despite the smiles and laughter, there was an undertone of anticipation. Every now and then, a hushed whisper, a shared glance, or a stifled giggle would hint at the plan. A small stage had been set up at the corner of the restaurant. A spotlight hung above, awaiting the night's grand reveal. A table stood beside it, on which lay a golden envelope with the words, "Employee of the Year," elegantly inscribed. As Simmons made his way to the stage, everyone held their breath. He was dressed in an expensive black suit, his wolfish grin as prominent as ever. Little did he know that his reign of terror was about to be publicly upended. The moment Simmons called out his own name as the Employee of the Year, the laughter that filled O'Sullivan's was deafening. It was the sound of relief and joy, of victory and justice, mixed with a healthy dose of schadenfreude. For everyone present, it was a moment of liberation. Their tyrant was finally getting his comeuppance. As for Simmons, well, let's just say the night went differently for him. After the laughter erupted, his face turned a deep red, and he quickly excused himself from the stage to the bathroom. While the laughter died down, and Simmons used the bathroom, we began setting up the real surprise. In the middle of the restaurant, we set up a small makeshift office area. When Simmons returned from the bathroom, I quickly called him over to sit down in my new office. I sat him down and fired him on the spot. After I declared Simmons fired, a cheer arose that shook the building, resonating deep into the hearts of those present. Champagne corks popped and glasses clinked, the golden bubbles symbolizing the rebirth of O'Sullivan's. It was the most memorable employee appreciation night in the history of the restaurant, a night where the employees felt truly appreciated, and a night where the oppressor was finally dethroned. There was laughter, there were toasts, and there were even some tears. That night, O'Sullivan's was not just a restaurant. It was a beacon of hope, a testament to justice, and a sanctuary of camaraderie. It was a night that would be remembered and recounted, a tale of heroism and victory over an unjust boss. And at the center of it all was the humble assistant manager turned hero, Charlie. I don't know if I saved O'Sullivan's that night, but I did earn the respect and gratitude of its employees. I stood there, a humble assistant manager, suddenly feeling like the most badass hero in town. I gave the employees a nod and a smile, savoring the moment. And as I did, I felt for the first time that things would get better. We would rise from the ashes Simmons had left behind. One thing was certain, though. O'Sullivan's would never be the same, and neither would I. Man, sounds like Simmons got roasted harder than their Sunday special. Charlie went full Gordon Ramsay on him, minus the colorful language, of course. What do you think? Let us know in the comments section below. When you subscribe, be sure to click the notification bell. Click here for more Tangled threads.